Hello, this is an individual reading for you today. What is the message for you today? The bottom of the deck, the Hermit, Scorpionic energy. Really thinking about what you desire and want at this time. You've been to yourself a lot lately. You've really been in your head at this time, and you're figuring it out. The Hermit has the star in his lantern. This is something that's, you're really doing some spiritual work at this time. You've really been thinking about what you wish for in your future and kind of creating some new goals, plans, opportunities, wishes, dreams. So let's see what we have here. What is your message for today? Okay. The Strength card again. I just did a love reading and the Strength card comes out. So you're also feeling this way. You're feeling a renewed sense of power. You're feeling a renewed sense of life and love. I think all this thinking and doing and wishing and wanting and dreaming and doing the inner work, maybe you're doing a lot of shadow work, whatever it is, you're coming to conclusions on what is next for you, what you want next for you. Seven of Discs. Let's pull one more. What is your message for today? This makes sense, yeah. So obviously you've been ruminating over your past, the failures that you've recently encountered or gone through. This is something that is no longer. I think you're coming out the other side of something that's been very dark and dismal for you at this time. Failure. It's interesting because when you study people that are successful or quote-unquote successful in your mind, one thing that keeps coming up with the general population is the idea of failure. The idea of failure is interesting because it really depends on the person that is viewing the failure and what they interpret it as. You can look at failure as one and done. There's a lot of people, I don't want to say losers because that's like a negative word to use, but winners and losers in the sense of, let's say, starting a business. A loser mindset would try to start a business. They know that they have a good idea, but then the first failure that they encounter, they literally give up and quit. And that's that, and then they just failed twice then. Winners, when starting a business that they know is a good idea, will fail hundreds of times before they get it right. You could see that story in a lot of different ways, and it kind of goes with this. It's kind of like, are you taking your failure as a death to your life, or are you taking your failure as just a way to start over, shuffle the deck again, give it another try, maybe a different way, maybe with some renewed energy? With the Hermit card, starting with, like, you're really thinking about, you really, you're rounding up your ideas and your thoughts on your past failure, and you're using that to your advantage. You're using that as a glimmer of hope of never to do it again, kind of energy. It's not like, oh, I'm a failure, I never get anything right. Like all that, like, woe is me, Eeyore kind of energy. This is like doing the work, thinking long and hard about what you won't do again, taking the lesson out of your failures like a winner would, and then progressing even better than before. You have the strength to do this. You are the I have the tiger. It keeps coming into my head for some reason, it's kind of like you have enough force and energy now within you because you've done a lot of thinking. You've reworked your dreams. You took the lessons from your past failures, not holding it against you, but kind of being real with yourself, being truthful with yourself. How did you contribute to your failure? What did you do that you won't do again? What will you do that you should have done? You know, all these things you've been thinking about, and you're really doing it in a good fashion, because the Ace of Swords, a brand new way of thinking of life, a brand new mindset. This is all positive things. You're taking your failure and you're making it something that is going to really light up your life. You know, these are both kind of like dusk, you know, or dawn kind of energies here. It's kind of like a dawn, actually, where it's like you've been through the dark nights for a while. You've been in the darkness for a while. And with both of these cards here, there's a light that's slowly emerging from the darkness. It's like watching the sun rise once again. It's completely dark, and then all of a sudden it slowly gets lighter and lighter and lighter until you see the sun again, and it's shining bright and beautiful. And the Strength card also gives you sun energy, Leo energy. So I think that you have gone through the work, you took your lessons, and now you're like making that into your fuel for the future. You know, take your past failures, your anger, your, you know, whatever negative emotions you have, and instead of letting that eat you up inside or use it against you, you use it for you. You use it for your fuel, for your strength, for your inspiration going forward. And you have some sort of newfound inspiration, newfound mindset on what you want to do going forward, and it's starting. This is in the works. This is something that's getting brighter by the day. You know, you just came out of something that's been hard. It seems like you've been in the dark. Even with the Strength card, you know, this is like a balance between dark and light. You're coming out of the dark, but you're coming out with a sword that is shining from, you know, like from your inner light. You know, your mindset, your brightness inside of you is going to light your way, because you are looking at your life in an optimistic fashion. This is optimism, weirdly enough, that I'm getting here. This is something that is really going to give you the light and the power to go forward, and you're going to be even better and brighter. Okay, so let's elaborate on your Seven of Pentacles. High Priestess. Wow, the cards are popping right now. The High Priestess and the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. And the Hermit. You've really taken control of your subconscious, your intuition. The High Priestess is all about intuition and knowing from within. It's not about seeing the evidence. The evidence is within you. The evidence is within your feelings. The evidence is within your gut reactions, your heart, you know. This is not brain energy. This is your intuition, your third eye. And with this, you're taking this failure as like just a door that had to close. It's something that had to be done. And you're thinking about it, and you've done a lot of thinking on it, and you're coming out of that in a way where you're like, yeah, I didn't listen to my intuition the entire time, and that's what made me fail. And now, going forward, I will definitely listen to my thoughts, my feelings, my body. 1:11 on the clock. You know, before making any decisions going forward. When your intuition is cut off from your mind, you know, like you're just taking what society gives you as the right answer versus how you feel inside, that could steer you in really dark corners. It can make people just feel crazy inside, you know, like, I don't know what the right answer is. Society tells me this is the right answer, but in my heart, I'm feeling this answer. You know, it's just kind of like a mix-up. I want to say cognitive dissonance. I don't know if that's the right word for this, but it's just like when there's two ideas that are conflicting, they both can't reside together, and there's some tension. And I think that you were ignoring your intuition in the past, and you're realizing this now with the High Priestess. The High Priestess is an all-knowing priestess. She knows. She's high, you know, in the sky. She is fruitful because she's completely in touch with her intuition. She's balanced with dark and light. She knows what's up. The Six of Cups. You're going to gain more strength and optimism in the love department eventually. This might have been your failure as a relationship. If not, it's some sort of material failure, a job failure. Maybe you lost your job, something like that. You're just having a lot of financial issues. You didn't listen to yourself, but it looks like there's some sort of love connection here with the Six of Cups. So maybe your intuition was screaming that this person in your past was not good, even though on paper they look amazing. A lot of people stay with people because on paper they look good, on paper they sound good, on paper they make this other person look good to everyone else. But on the inside, when you're home with this person alone, when you're with your own thoughts, when you're with them without anyone watching, when the resume doesn't matter, you know, on the couch, when you're with somebody, you know, and you're like snuggling or you're in bed with someone, their resume goes out the door. It's about the connection at that point. And I think that your intuition was saying this is not the right person. You were ignoring red flags. You knew in your heart that you didn't really love them or that they didn't love you, something like that. But you didn't listen to it, and that's what brought this failure anyway. It was bound to fail, but you kind of like hit your head on every step going down, I want to say. Going forward, you know, you want something different. You've done a lot of inner work, thinking about what you could have done better. Maybe you should have cut it off faster than you did, you know, but in your heart, you really want to share your heart with someone that you know will resound in your being, in your soul, in a way where you can give them your love. You know, this card, if you look at it closely, there's flowers coming out of the cups. This is about growth. It's about sharing your love with someone on an equal playing field. But then it's funny because love, you know, everything is compounding in life. So when you give someone love, you know, someone that deserves it, right? Someone that really, truly you think is a good person for you. When you give your love, you know, an abundance of love to this person, they're going to give it back to you. And not only that, they're going to give it back to you even more. So it just creates more growth and connection and love and life and all these pretty things. There's so many flowers, you know, there's so much love to be shared. Like you both have so much love together. And that's kind of like what you're looking for, you know, someone to just give your love to radically, you know, knowing that you don't have to hold back, knowing that your intuition isn't screaming at you. You know, your intuition says, yes, you know, you're free to do this, right? When you feel safe enough and you develop a bond with someone that's true love, not fake love, you know, or forced love. It's true, easy, comfortable love. There's a lot of growth to be had in here. And you have the strength to do it because you did the work on yourself. You've been truthful with what you've done wrong in the past. You're listening to your intuition now. And sometimes your intuition is going to tell you things that don't make sense in reality. Everyone's intuition speaks to them differently. Some people hear things, some people see things. Okay, I don't know what's up with this reading, but I keep getting interrupted. This is the second time I got interrupted from this meeting. So anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought with what was happening here. So let's just elaborate a little bit more on the Ace of Swords. What's this new outlook that you have? What's this new way of thinking, your new mindset, your new optimism in life? What's this light that you have, this newness, this new way of looking at life? What's up with the Ace of Swords? This spread is really giving me alchemizing energy. Like you're taking the worst parts of your past and you're making it into something good. You've been shut out by certain people. If you feel like you've been left out in the cold by maybe a group of people. There might have been some sort of job loss. There's a lot of failure with pentacles here. The Five of Pentacles is not like a fun card. It's like a bad change, like you've gone through bad changes because you weren't listening to yourself. Maybe it was a job where, the employer was toxic and you knew it, but you just kind of did it anyway because it paid you well. You didn't listen to your intuition, which was screaming to get out. This is unhealthy. You kind of just kept going for it because of the money, what looks good on paper. And that is where the discord is between the outside and the inside of you. You've been left out in the cold. Maybe you've been fired. Maybe you've been broken up with, and it's been unfair. But you had to kind of go inward to kind of investigate what's happening here. And you're coming out the other side with a lot of nuggets of information, of knowledge, and you're being smart about it. And things are going to be progressing in like an upward fashion for you now. Like things are going to compound in a positive way. Like you're going up the hill. You are the dawn to your new day, your new life. You have a new way of looking at things now, and you know what you kind of want going forward. If this is love related, someone broke up with you. You stayed in a relationship too long. You knew that it wasn't the right fit, but you stayed anyway, maybe for money. I don't know. Now you're listening to your intuition, and you're developing your own inner strength and a new mindset of looking at life. But you kind of had to be shut out before this could happen. Sometimes people are forced, most of the time, people are forced to change. And it takes a lot of bravery and courage to be truthful with yourself. Even if you don't tell anyone what your findings are, you have to be truthful with yourself. You have to tell yourself what you did wrong. You have to tell yourself what you did right. And your intuition is an all-knowing friend to you. Who knows where your intuition comes from? Everyone, maybe spirits, just energy in general. The way we all connect is differently. You have to learn to have that relationship with yourself first, to trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself, you're never going to trust anyone else, because you won't have the ability to, figure out if you can trust other people. Why do you think you decide certain things and not with other people? Is because your own inner knowing is kind of deciding for you. So I think going forward, whether it's work or love related, you have to learn to trust yourself first on what you want, how you think, the lessons that you're taking into your future. This is going to progress you forward in a more healthy way and not let you fail at the same things again. Failure is always going to happen. Failure is good. That means that you're trying, but if you don't take the lesson from failure and you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, maybe you go into the same kind of job, or maybe you date the same kind of person, or maybe you didn't change yourself and that's attracting the same kind of person in, whatever it is, you need to change within you first before anything else changes. And your mind is number one first. That will change everything else. 4:44 on the clock. So let's evaluate a little bit more. These cards are coming up strong. Okay. The Two of Cups. I think you're going to pay attention to your intuition more when it comes to love, because you want real love. Like we have the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups. Some good energy with love. I think this is a love-related reading. You've had a bad relationship recently, and you know what you want going forward, because you have to decide what you want going forward before it decides for you. If you just kind of don't know what you want specifically, not specifically like, I want a blonde, blah, 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 not like that, but more like, what do I want this person to be like? What do I want my love to feel like? If you don't decide that before you meet people, you're just going to let situations happen to you, and then you decide. It's kind of like backwards, Decide what you want and need, so you have standards, you have things to kind of filter people out with. That's going to bring you to more of this energy of like a true love match. The Two of Cups is the most loving, gentle, sweet card. It's like the sweetest love. And you know, with this together, it's like sweet love combined. Oh my God, when you meet someone that's kind of like on the same mindset of that, of even just love, let's say, and you connect with their counterpart that's like the same way, like the exponential growth that can happen is amazing. This is turning out to be extremely well for you. The High Priestess and the Star. Okay. I mean, like, the Star is all about getting your wishes fulfilled. It's about your dreams coming true. So if you've been doing the Hermit energy work on yourself and you're really doing the work on what you want, like I was just saying with love, you know, like really defining what you want with a love relationship, how you want to feel, how you want to act with this person. You know, everything else comes into play. You have to be lenient on looks. You have to be lenient on, you know, outside forces that you can't control. No one's relationship is going to be picture perfect, you know, but like you have to have your focus on the right thing. And with the Star here, it's showing you that you can get, it's crazy because once you change your mind, once you really set your mind straight, you have the strength and you know it because you're coming out of it. Once you set your mind straight on what you desire, what you dream of, you'll be able to come to and find this counterpart, this Two of Cups counterpart that's really going to give you like your kind of like your heart's fullest wishes come true, and the growth that will happen between you is truly beautiful. You have to have it start within your mind. You have to define it for yourself first, and you have to listen to your intuition when you're around people. The Magician. You can get anything that you want. You can get anything that you dream of, and I'm talking about anything. You have enough power within you to truly get what you want. The Magician has it all on his table. He has a pentacle, he has a cup, he has a sword, and a wand. He knows how to use the power of life, the power of spirit, the power of love in the correct fashion. Once you have your mind straight and settled on what you dream about, especially when it comes to true love, like a sweet, gentle, nurturing love that's just going to keep growing and growing, more flowers, you have the magic and the strength within you to create it, you know, and to make it happen. The Magician and the High Priestess, you're really coming into your own. You have so much power within you. You have so much intuition that once you really, truly, 100% trust it, the magic that you can create is unreal. It's otherworldly. You're really gonna like level up in the way that you think, and you're gonna be a force to be reckoned with when you have the Queen of Swords and the High Priestess energy for you. You know, it's kind of like I have my intuition in check and I have my mindset in check, and there's no way that you'll be able to, ever to fool me into thinking something else. There's no way that you'll ever be able to tell me what I want to know. You know, like I will know it inside, you know, in my soul and also in my brain. And that's like a true force. That's why the Strength card came out front and center, because it's kind of like you're going to have a strength that is undoubtedly indestructible. Anyone that comes at you with trickery or a false facade or just any kind of tricky energy, like there's no way that anyone is going to get through or past you. Your intuition is solid and your mindset is going to be solid. And you're doing it all yourself. You've been doing it all yourself, which is amazing. You know, that Hermit energy is strong. You know, that's why Scorpios are kind of like, they're the master of transformation. You really go inward to go back outward again. And you take your failures and you alchemize it into something that's just even, it's like fireworks going off. There's no more of this feeling, the failure and staying up at night, worrying, anxiety, all that shit is gonna go away when your mind and your intuition are working together in partnership. That is just a force to be reckoned with. It's something that you can't deny, and you just have this confidence about you that's just going to be illuminating your way going forward. Your confidence is really going to spring you forward into love, life, and it just work pentacles, so, solidarity with someone, having a solid foundation. The Nine of Cups. This is something that's like really exciting for you, because once you see the magic of yourself, of what you've created, start working for you, then you really have the insurance of knowing that everything that starts within your mind and your soul and your intuition can truly come out. The Star is telling you that. The Magician is telling you that. And the Nine of Cups is basically telling you, like, you can get anything you want. You can rack up as much love as you want with the right person. There's more than enough love to go around when you are in your own mindset of love and life. If you love yourself, fully, then you'll also have the ability to love someone else fully. And, you'll be able to sit and relax and not have to deal with anxiety or depression about the past or anxiety about the future, right? It's about being here right now with your thoughts, knowing that you've come very far and that you have a lot more to go. That's going to be extremely exciting for you. And you're going to get a lot of things coming true faster. Dreams happen faster when you really let your intuition guide your way. The magic of this world is truly amazing, and you'll be able to see that in your future going forward.